Hey everyone, it's V Jose back with another deck review, and it's time to look at Bicycle's own Halloween deck, the Tragic Royalty. It's a pretty cool deck, although maybe not the best deck that they have produced. The top says Bicycle, trusted since 1885. Bottom it says Tragic Royalty playing cards. And then it says the same thing in French, it says Royauté et Tragédie Cartes à jouer. For those of you who can't read French, it's more or less what it says. And it says cards glow under black light, and says the same thing in French. Cards luminescence sous la mer noire. And you see what the faces of the court cards look like, more or less, as well. On this side, Ergus Infinis, Fini Cousin DR. This side, International Playing Card Company Limited, which from Richmond Hill, Ontario, Canada. Tells me they were, says they were manufactured in the USA. 4 of his companies, so they're actually basically a Canadian deck of playing cards. Because you won't find this on decks released in the US. They may have the same deck for the US, but this one is actually a Canadian version. Top it says poker size, format poker, and it's also evident by the fact that there's French on it. So I'm not sure if the whole Tragic Royalty deck was made for Canada specifically, and then found its way into the US for retail resellers and whatnot, or if this is just a Canadian version of the deck, just like they have Canadian versions of the Rider back. Not really sure. Anyway, the top says that there's a black seal. The bottom is his trademark information, heck of a lot of it. Boom. On the back, just like other Canadian decks, it says Bicycle since 1885. You get to look at the free court cards and clubs. There's a bit of a look at the back design, and then there is a barcode. Definitely Canadian. Again, more trademark information in the flap. Go figure. And then pull out the cards, and oh my god, the gray. That's a little bit different. Completely custom pips, as you can see. There's the spades. Pretty cool. The diamonds. There's the ace of spades. Says Bicycle 808 on top. US Playing Card Company, made in USA on the bottom. There's a spider. And the ace of spades, it looks like it's just a border, and then there is a spider web in the center, which is pretty cool. I like it. They also have on all the cards custom font in the numbers. Very custom. But the indices appear to be normal Bicycle indexes or indices. Although for some reason the hearts seem to be bigger than the diamonds and the spades, as are the clubs. I don't know, there's varying sizes. Anyways, there's a heart pip and a diamond pip. The court cards are all very ghostly. They're like the ghosts of the court cards, and you can see they're also half and half. One side has a gray background with a red pip. The other side, black background with a white pip. So that makes them one-way court cards, if you will. As you can see, they have very ghostly faces. This one looks almost like a Frankenstein. His lips sewn together. He's got stitches on his head and weird eyes. This one, deck of cards, looks like a pirate. There's a weird, scary-looking witch for the Queen of Clubs. There's the Jack of Clubs. Queen of Hearts also looks ghostly, scary-looking Queen of Spades. The only downside is the Jokers are standard Bicycle Jokers, just in gray. They could have taken this a step further and customized the Joker, made his face ghostly and white, but they didn't do that. They just left the Jokers alone. Disappointing, I know. There's the Ace of Hearts. I looked at a couple more. This one's kind of cool. The King of Hearts, skeleton type head. There's the other Joker, standard guaranteed Joker. That kind of reminds me of Abraham Lincoln for some reason. That's kind of scary in a weird way. Reminds me of someone, I don't know who. And, alright. But that's a look at all the court cards. They're pretty cool. These cards, they will glow under black light. But who the hell has black lights anyways? Not most people that I know of. So, that ceiling feature is really means nothing to me anyways, because I don't have a black light. I don't think most people do have black lights. Anyway, let's look at the back design. It's a standard rider back basically, except that the angels, all 6 of them, are in red, and there's a red border around the sides, around the edges here, and a red border around the center, and it's all black and gray, and it's, I admit it's pretty cool looking. I like it. They dribble pretty nicely. The spread half decently. Not the smoothest spreading, I would say. The cards, they do feel kind of weird in the finish. I don't know if it's because of what they did for the black light or what, but they feel kind of plasticky almost compared to most bicycles. And also, yeah, they don't fan very well. That's something you see a lot about. You see reviews on these on YouTube like crazy, and people complaining about the fanning. I think when I first got these, I actually fanned not too badly. I don't know. I've actually seen a review of somebody who got a deck that actually fans. I forget who that was, but they are out there. There are some that aren't bad, but this one is not great, as you can see. But other than that, you know, they dribble pretty nicely, spread decently. One other thing that I noticed though is, you may notice, the cards look like they're in different shades of gray. It's kind of weird. You'd think they'd be all the same gray, but nah, they seem to be in different shades of gray for some reason. And like I said, the pips and the indices also appear to be different colors. It's almost like they put these together out of 2 different prints. Some of these look like they were indexes maybe from the perfect pips, and the others are indexes from regular cards, but it's kind of weird that the indices have different sizes pips from one to another. I don't know if you can actually tell that in the video, but that's kind of weird as well. So overall, pretty bizarre deck. The handling quality varies. The pips vary on the indices, everything, but you know, it's a nice deck to have in your collection. It's a nice deck to pull out on Halloween to play around with. Not that good for perfume because it doesn't fan very nicely. But if you don't do fans, hey, why not? It doesn't really matter. But not bad overall. I'd probably give it a 6 out of 10 just because it's cards vary in gray from card to card. Indices vary in size. Jokers are not customized at all. And it doesn't fan. So yeah, 6 out of 10 is probably about as good of a rating as I could give it. Nonetheless, it's a nice deck to have in your collection if you're into card collecting or into all things Halloween. And especially if you don't care if it fans or not. Because not everybody does fanning, obviously. But to play, you know, a game of cards, so they work. And the back design is pretty nice looking, although a little bit off-centered as well. But then again, I noticed that about the Carnival decks. The back design is a little bit off-centered as well. I forgot to mention that. Anyway, that is the Bicycle Tragic Royalty. Kind of a tragic deck in itself, because the quality is not very good. But nonetheless, definitely add it to your collection if you like collecting cards. I got one more deck review coming up today. I'll see you next time for that deck review.